Hello and welcome to the virtual pipe organ project. In this video, we're going to set up my new virtual pipe organ console with the GrandOrgue. And before we get started, I'm just going to address one thing for anybody who's new to the virtual pipe organ scene, who's following along and wants to sync up their own keyboard that they bought at department stores or cats are young. They'll see if you put up to computer like me and expect that from GrandOrgue to come series on here. It's a huge misconception when I was jaded a long time ago. I started between MIDI and MIDI turns your musical instrument into a virtual computer, such as like a keyboard or a mouse or a game controller, or audio always have a computer. The only way that would be possible to your actual keyboard to play would be on keyboards. So you would have to from starting here to keyboard so right there. How do you put that to the keyboard audio to speakers? So just on. Some way to this video is to there's a purpose as a family overloading some of the keyboard plays and strummers into it perhaps in class. So hopefully I can see more questions I am sure I'll come and cover your keyboard because or on. So what I'm going to do is progress on the double down this is my mug. So you should be seeing my desktop right now. And so I'm going to start up GrandOrgue. And for the record, I'm using Arch Linux with the KDE Plasma desktop as my working environment for my organ here. So it sometimes takes a little while for GrandOrgue to start up, and this is what it looks like for a first time startup with the demo sample set. So I'm going to move the taskbar here up to the top, careful not to maximize it. And then I'll put the main window here for the demo set underneath it like so. Oh, and I'm just going to save that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do to sync this up is go to settings. And then we're going to select the new bass melody coupler behavior. I'm going to have the cache be compressed. And we're going to do sample loading with lossless compression. And I'm going to click on OK, and GrandOrgue is going to reload because we changed a few settings. As it's reloading, it's also going to create a brand new cache for us. So it should be done here in a few seconds. Just have a little bit of patience here for it. And as soon as it's created the new cache, we will do a quick test to see if I have to change any of the audio settings here for GrandOrgue. Okay. So to do that test, I'm just gonna click on a few stops, and sure enough, we don't have any audio. So let's go back into settings. we're going. So here under paths, we can change the paths where we store organ packages, sample sets, combinations, audio recordings, and all that nice stuff. Um, but since everything's going to be staying in my home directory anyways, because of how I have the computer set up, I'm not changing a thing there. Now here in audio, like I said at the beginning there of the video about the difference between audio and MIDI, this is for setting up all your sound output out to your speakers. So what I'm going to do here is select device. I'm going to click on change. And here you can see all the different audio devices I have available to select for use with the GrandOrgue. So I'm going to select this one here since it's I have a 5.1 surround hooked up. And I'm going to click on OK. And if you listen very closely, you can hear that I have audio again. So yeah, so that was troubleshooting the lack of audio currently on GrandOrgue. And again, I think this is just because I have the OBS Studio recording this video at the same time as I'm doing the demo. I'm just really happy I was able to find a solution that would allow me to demo GrandOrgue for you. So we're going to again go back into settings. So we've already dealt with the options here. I've discussed paths briefly. We fixed our audio. Now we're going to go over to MIDI devices. I don't use jack, so I'm going to deselect that. And then we're going to leave the auto add new devices alone, and the check on startup, we're going to leave that selected as well. I'm going to get rid of the MIDI through. I'm going to get rid of my DA options here. Looking here at the very end of these options here, I found that when I set up the stops with the launch pads with the listener, that it's always the MI versions that pop up, not the DA. So we can make sure that those are deselected. Because when I go to set up the MIDI, I only want to see what's actually going to work in my MIDI options. So now for the output devices, I'm only going to select the two Launchpad MIs here. Again, reading at the very end before the numbers. And then the next thing I'm going to do is perform some matching here. So for the UM1, the UM1 is going to be our basic console. So that's where all the information from the pedal board and each of the manuals, and eventually when I have swell shoes and toe studs put in, all that information from those components will travel through the UM1 out to the computer. And so that we're going to just go ahead and name that console and click OK. Now what we need to do is figure out which one of these two belongs to is my left and right banks. So if I click on here and go to matching, you'll see that we have the same three things here: physical device, logical device, and the rejects pattern. Just as a note, we don't want to mess around with the physical device name or the rejects pattern. We leave those alone. We just change the logical device name, and that's what's going to appear on our MIDI device options when we're programming the manuals, the pedal board, the stops, and whatever else we're going to focus on syncing up with our console through MIDI. So this one is the MI, and then this one is MI-1. Okay, so I'm going to click on OK here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick on a stop here. So I'm going to go into our pedal division here and grab our contrabass 16-foot. Okay, I'm going to right click on that, which brings up our MIDI settings form. So this is where we're able to set up our MIDI information for that stop to select what device and like what pad on my launch pad is going to select and deselect this stop. So I'm going to click on Detect Complex MIDI Setup, and I'm going to go over to my left launch pad, and let me just quickly change the view here so you can see what's going on when I'm pressing. So I want to put the contrabass on my left launch pad, and specifically on the bottom left corner. So I'm going to hit that pad, and now it's saying toggle it again for the off state. Okay, and then if you look here in the device, it says ALSA Launchpad Mini Mark III, and then the LP Mini MK3, and it's MI-1. So I'm going to click on OK here. We're going to go back into settings. Going to go back to MIDI devices, and it will be matching. Here will be our left launch pad. And then that automatically makes this my right launch pad. And now I can link my input devices with my output devices after I do similar matching here, because I want it to be everything being the same. So this again is our right launch pad. And then this one down here will be our left launch pad. And now we can match the MIDI output device with the input device. Somehow I think I might have did these wrong here. Nope, I did it right. So now we've changed the logical names for each of our launch pads, as well as matched the input device to the output device. So what this will allow us to do is go back into our stop here. We're going to do the Detect Complex MIDI setup again. And we can see that the device has now changed to left launchpad. And I can go over to send information, copy current receive event, and it will line that up correctly. But right now I am not ready to sync up the actual stops yet to the launch pads. So I'm just going to get rid of what I programmed in there. All the purpose of that was to set the logical device names and make sure everything's matched up appropriately for when we're setting up the stops with the Novation launch pads. So that takes care of the MIDI devices. We're going to now go over to initial MIDI, and now we can actually set up all the manuals along with the pedal board for initial sample set startup. So that way, when we load up a new sample set, we don't have to worry about manually setting the pedal board and each of the manuals up. It should be automatically synced up. It will just be setting the stops to the Novation launch pads that we have to do manually for each sample set. So I'm going to go ahead and match up the pedals and the manuals. So Detect Complex, lowest note, highest note. And then we'll do the same for each of the manuals. We'll get the keyboard out of the way here. So that's manual 1. Manual 2. Manual 3. Oop, I messed that up. Let's cancel. Went a little bit too fast for it. There we go. Now we can go on to manual 4. And finally, manual 5. Now I'll hit OK here. And that's the basic general setup of setting up a home console with GrandOrgue. In the next video, I'll go through and set up each of the stops with my Ovation launch pads, so you can see how I logically go through figuring that out. So I'll probably also have a spreadsheet off to the side to help guide the process of programming each of the stops onto the launch pads. So I hope this is a good supplement to my general overview video that I did a couple of years ago, and I hope I covered enough to get you guys started on setting up your own working console at home. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next setup video.